computer. There we go. Here we are. We're ready for another read. This is another one. This is the pop-up show. This is our favorite gathering because there's so many wonderful people. And boy, they're all waiting to get on right now, too. So let's bring them in right now. Here we go. There's Scott Boddicker and Marjorie Miller and Paula. Hello, Paula. There's Scott. Yeah, and let's see here. Sideways. That's yeah. There he is now. Here's Brian Neary. Andrew Deutsch is with us.
Brian.
What? Brian. Yeah, Brian Neary.
You forgot my name. I was just reminding you my name. It's Brian Neary. Thank you.
You're frozen, I think. You can hear you, but your mouth isn't moving to your voice. Hello, Andrew Deutsch.
Hi.
Hello, Andrew Berger.
That's right.
Andrew.
Yeah. Andrew Berger. I just want to see if I can do
You're wrong. That's wrong.
Trump is the best president of all time.
Nah, you can't push me that far.
Francine Witt and Lynn LaFusco and John Ewing. That's who's here so far. Oh, here comes Charlie Wallace. Boy, we got, what, 12 people now? Whoa, this is getting to be a huge crowd. We may be joined by even more, but we'll see. Anyway, how y'all doing?
Speaking of Trump.
Huh?
Speaking of Trump, my Philadelphia Eagles said a massive no to being invited to the White House after the Super Bowl win.
Good for them.
Really?
And they did it. And, you know, the Eagles won in 2018, and they did the same thing.
Whoa,
Wonderful.
Bravo.
Yeah, they're gonna try and make me an Eagles fan.
Huh? What'd you say, Charlie?
They're really trying to make me an Eagles fan.
Yeah. Oh boy. Anyway, so they don't want to kiss the ring, huh? Gee.
Correct.
You know, Charlene Solis is here. Did I mention Charlene?
I don't know.
I don't know. Everybody starts coming up so fast. I don't know if I got it right, but let me put my earphones on, then I can hear you all really well. Okay, so how has the week been for all of you? Brian, you had a good time this week? I noticed you had your lovely daughter spending.
Yes. Yeah, we had a good time.
Yeah, how long?
Yes. Today was a little. Today was a little crazy, but today was crazy. I had a fire alarm go off in my building already, and a fire alarm, and then what else? Something else happened today. So, the power in half of my building went out because all these contractors are messing around and stuff. So
Wow.
But yeah, good weekend. Adrian had a birthday party, skating thing. So yeah, a lot of fun, a lot of cooking, a lot of fun. We've been cooking a lot of stuff from Instagram, you know, those type of things. So a lot of fun.
Wait a minute, from Instagram? No, you mean Instagram?
Well, reels, reels. No, Instagram. You know, Instagram, they have those short little clips. So we made apple pancakes and stuff like that.
Okay, all right. So you took a recipe from the web, basically.
Yeah, we've been doing that lately. So a lot of fun.
Yeah. So how long did she spend with you? The whole weekend?
Yeah. I picked up Friday and then dropped her off last night.
You two get along great, don't you?
Yes.
I mean, she's a kid, you know, so there's a certain amount of problems with that, right?
Yeah. Yes, of course.
Yeah,
but we, you know, we like doing the same kind of stuff. We like getting out there, and she loves driving, and so we have a lot of fun. So, yeah.
Well, you know, the great thing about you is you're a late in life father. And I think being a late in life father is a much better father than being a young father, because, you know, you're still almost a kid still, you know, so you've really enjoyed it. It seems like you've really enjoyed it, you know. So.
Yeah, I was not capable at earlier ages.
Right. You know, I'm ready to have a kid now.
Congratulations.
But I think adoption is in the What's one word am I
In the
looking?
cards.
Cards. I can't get words out anymore. I can't think straight. You know what I'm talking about, right? Uh,
Yeah, I
What's her
know.
name?
Marjorie's gonna have to get diapers for two though, for you and the kid.
Nice.
yeah,
Is that Melania?
what? No, yeah, Melania, right? I don't want to be with this guy. Yeah. Yeah. No, they gave this to me on my last day of physical therapy. So,
Is that the name of the company?
yeah, Spear. They also gave me it's a nice t-shirt. I haven't worn it yet, but wait a minute, hold on a second. Let me get that down there. Here,
Hmm.
see?
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. That's
Gorgeous.
a nice t-shirt. And I graduated, I guess, from PT. They say I'm doing just fine. I don't feel like it, but whatever. Physical therapy, don't you, Jeff?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. It's
I
really
was just
what I hate about it is you go to physical therapy and you figure that's where you do the physical therapy, right? And then they give you homework. Well, go home and do these 5 times a day. What? I'm lazy. So
Did
anyway.
they do the same for you at the sex therapist?
Yes, they did. They did.
I used to.
Absolutely. Do this 3. Well, they said that wasn't a problem. Okay, to be honest with you. But anyway, and Paula, how are things out there in Ohio?
Today we have better weather, so it was a nice taking a walk. We didn't get blown off the sidewalk or your ears frozen. So I'm at least pleased with that.
You're in what town again? I keep forgetting.
Akron, Ohio.
Akron, Ohio.
Yes, it's well known.
Yeah. You wound up in Akron because your kids are there? What was the reason you got to Akron? I mean,
Plus my kids and grandkids, yes.
yeah. So, how many children did you have?
I had two, the requisite two, one boy and one girl.
Yeah.
My son teaches at the local university, and that's
Oh,
why I'm
okay.
here.
Oh,
Yeah.
good. Well, it's wonderful. It's just wonderful. Because Akron's not exactly the main city of Ohio, and
One of them.
it's one of. Well, I guess it's one of them. Yeah. Okay. Here comes Vernon Nunn. Boy, we're gonna have a full house today.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. This is like we're up to 12, 14 people already.
Seems like we're getting a lot of views too when I go look out at the old shows.
This show gets a lot of people watching it, and you can look and see what it gets on one thing that you look at,
Right.
but several other places it is, and so I add them all up, and it's a pretty good number, Yeah, more so than the nighttime show. People seem to like this show because everybody's so friendly and having a good time.
And
Yeah,
no
shut up.
politics.
Well, it's not like there's no politics. How can you avoid it?
Well, it's not our main conversation.
No, it's not our main conversation.
I think our sponsor, Spear Physical Therapy, show their logo again.
Yeah,
Now they've been paying out quite a bit lately.
Spear when you don't want to stumble. Okay, that's their slogan. Yeah,
When you need to lift.
yeah. I got my cup of coffee today. This is the cup of coffee I had on Friday night show. Oh no, I used it on I had a what do you call it? What we're doing here, a Zoom meeting on Saturday.
Saturday night.
And so I made a cup of coffee, and I don't drink a whole cup of coffee, so I put it in the refrigerator, and then I take it out. And I love coffee.
I do too.
I can't understand this, but how many here like cold coffee?
Ice coffee.
See, I'm not the only one, Marjorie. Mm. So,
I love coffee ice cream too.
Oh,
of course, coffee ice cream is terrific, but I like it when the coffee is cold. I've been thinking about making it now and just putting it in the refrigerator. because I really
You have
like
to start
that.
growing your own beans with tariffs from Colombia.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
have.
But there's also, didn't you say there were some problems, Marjorie, with the beans being
Well,
grown?
they say in South America and Africa, because of the weather change, they're not yielding as much coffee, so the prices are going to go up.
Yep.
What a shock.
Good
Yeah.
news.
What were you going to say, Len?
No, I just said what a shock.
Yeah.
Price is going up.
I'll tell you, if you
What-
want to see a very interesting speech, it's on Netflix. The SAG Awards. They gave the Lifetime Achievement Award to Jane Fonda.
Yeah, just saw that.
Did you see it?
Yep.
He was terrific.
It's a terrific speech.
Really is.
Yeah.
You can see it on YouTube.
He was talking about man against nature. No way you're going to win that one. I mean, it's a good speech. It's a great speech. She's still full of vim and vinegar or whatever.
Mm.
I can't talk today. You guys take over.
Yeah.
How old is she now?
I admire Jane Fonda. She's had a very interesting life.
Yeah.
And worked in a lot of good causes. A feminist that is approachable and
Yeah.
she's a good lady. Good lady.
She's like pushing 90, isn't she?
She put 88.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah, well, she's had a lot of replacements and stuff,
Yeah, she looks pretty good.
She says that
Yeah.
herself.
She said last year, she said no more.
Yeah, but she,
Yeah, but she's
she
exercised her whole life too.
in the speech, in the introduction, Julia Louis-Dreyfus introduced her and said, "This woman has won this award, that award, this award, that award, and was on Nixon's enemies list."
Yeah.
She said, "I think that's the best award she ever got." She's been a fighter all these years. I mean, she went to North Vietnam and got everybody. Called her what, Hanoi Jane or something like that.
Yeah.
And really, if you think about it, she's been rather consistent in her beliefs over the years, and she has continued to not keep her mouth shut. And that has to be admired. And I think if you'd gone from a point where, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, they would have never even given her an award at this SAG Awards. But as time goes on, there's an old saying: as time goes on, even politicians and prostitutes get respectful.
Oh my God, Trump's gonna be respectful one day.
Well, you know what he does? I got to tell you, this isn't political. Well, I guess it is. I saw him with Macron today. He's sitting up at the podium with his eyes closed. He's like falling asleep.
Yeah, sleep and go, huh?
He's like the kid you can't take anywhere. You don't want to take him to a funeral because he's just not going to be. He's going to keep acting up, So anyway.
Speaking of our new president, has anybody personally been tariffed yet?
Have I been tariffed?
My company's been significantly affected.
I have. I ordered something from an online electronics company, and they added a $1.69 tariff for a $26 item.
Yeah. So there's a perfect example of you having to pay it on the other end.
Yeah.
Not
Well,
the
of
company
course.
that sells it to you, not the company that sells it to you, and not the people they have the tariff against. The tariff is against you.
Yep.
In the end, yeah.
It's already caused an effect on our supply chain.
Really?
Yep.
We're seeing, yeah. Plating material requires aluminum that's only available imported. There's a bunch of items that we buy that have imported components that are now tariff. Wait till you see the level of inflation this fellow is creating.
Oh my God, I know.
Well, we saw a thing yesterday on Sunday, CBS Sunday Morning. They did a thing on Trump's favorite president. Who do you think it is?
Andrew Jackson.
Himself.
Huh?
Himself.
Lyndon LaRouche.
Donald Trump.
Yeah, no. McKinley.
Yeah.
In fact, he changed the name of Mount Denali, which was Mount McKinley, but then they named it after an Indian tribe. he named it back to McKinley. And McKinley, what do you think his favorite thing to do was?
Tariff.
That's right.
Well, that's the genesis of how this all started. Was he got pissed off about this Denali thing, wanted McKinley because it was the old name, and then someone told him who McKinley was. Oh, McKinley tariffed. I should tariff.
Somebody should remind him that McKinley was assassinated.
Yes, but he
That's
did
right.
he did one term.
He was bigly assassinated.
He was assassinated in his second term.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, where is Donald Trump?
Well, who was the president they shot? I think it was it no?
Kennedy?
Wasn't it McKinley? McKinley only died 5 days later, but one of our presidents who got shot was alive for 3 months before he finally died. They couldn't find. He was so fat they couldn't get to the bullet. That's the truth.
Garfield?
Taft?
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Taft was pretty heavy.
Taft.
Yeah, but he wasn't shot.
Taft wasn't shot.
Oh, well, then who was shot?
Yeah.
It was Garfield. James Garfield.
James Garfield. Was that the one that died 3 months later?
Well, Roosevelt was shot, but he lived.
Hmm.
Teddy Roosevelt?
Yeah, it was Garfield survived 79 days after being shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. That's Garfield. He was so fat they couldn't find the bullet. They actually brought in certain equipment to try and find the bullet in him, but they couldn't get to it or something. It was, he finally died after that amount of time of what do you call it? Poison?
Blood poison.
He had sepsis or something from.
Yeah. I mean, he died. It was.
It could have been lead poisoning.
Yeah.
And by the way, Alex, he was born in Orange Village, Ohio, where I live.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a cabin in the next town over, Moreland Hills, that was supposedly his cabin when he grew up.
Well, in San Francisco, I went to Garfield School.
Yeah. And he was a cat also that ate, I think it was lasagna.
Yes, yeah, right. I remember that.
And he never got shot, but they did take away his catnip.
Yeah, they called him Garfield the cat because McKinley was already taken, I think.
Who goes to a cat mountain?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
But anyway,
They had scratching posts.
yeah. So Garfield was always a president I was aware of because my school was named Garfield School. Why, I have no idea. When did Garfield serve? When was his time in office? Was it
late 1800s?
He died in 1881.
1881, yeah.
1881. Okay, so
You realize every 20 years a president was either shot or died in office up until Ronald Reagan.
Really? So are we at?
We're due for one.
Did you hear that the now we're not supposed to call it measles? They're called freedom sores. I didn't know if you knew. It was in the news.
Yeah, yeah.
It must be real. It was on the internet.
I wanted to have freedom toast this morning, but we couldn't.
These measles are getting closer and closer to Austin. Now they're worried about an outbreak in San Marcos.
Really?
Which is only 30 miles south of Austin.
Mm-hmm. Well, you don't go out much anyway, do you?
No, but I had measles too. So
yeah. Didn't we all have measles? I mean,
you know what?
I have some in this jar right here.
What I could never figure out is I had measles, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So that's taken care of. But I never had the mumps. And all of a sudden, one of my girlfriends at, I think, 21 years of age came down with the mumps. And she said, well, you're going to get it for sure. And I never got it. And then several years later, I got, what is it you get if you have mumps? You get
tonsillitis?
No.
Shingles. Chickenpox?
Shingles.
So that comes after chicken pox, not the mumps.
Excuse me. I never had chicken pox. That's what it was.
Wow.
I never had mumps either, but I never had chicken pox. And then she got chicken pox and she said, you're going to get it for sure. And I didn't get it. And then about 20 years later, I come down with shingles. Now you only get shingles if you've had chicken pox.
Probably had a
But,
super mild case or
I
something.
probably had a super mild case. It came and went. We didn't pay attention to it. I had to have gotten it because I didn't get it from her, and I then came down with
Isn't
shingles.
the bird flu the cure for chickenpox?
What?
Jesus.
No, it's because chicken pox. We don't have eggs now. That's the problem.
You can't afford them.
Oh, wait a minute. Look what's on his floor in the back there.
Trying to save money on eggs.
Anybody bought eggs lately? You have? How much, Charlene?
$10 a dozen.
Oh
No.
my God, really?
Oh my.
Wow.
Who else? Yes. We got John Ewing. John.
Yeah, I got them at Trader Joe's for $2.50. I was surprised.
Wow.
Yeah, they were only $2.50 for a
They're
dozen.
$9.49 at Safeway today.
Oh.
We got them for $6 in Florida.
$6 in Florida. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Anybody
Don't know
else?
where they come from.
Anybody else? I guess no.
I'm doing okay for eggs because it's local farmers. It's not the real big guys. So far so good.
So far so good. Yeah. What?
I think Ohio is the second largest producer of eggs in the country.
Really? I didn't know.
Yeah, I think so. It used to be
First.
first. I don't know. I only know seconds.
Yeah. Anyway,
Firsts are overrated.
birds are overrated. That's really getting ridiculous for eggs. I saw Costco. They had them the other day, and they had 18 for $6 something. I can't remember. So I thought that was okay.
That's
But
great.
I went back the other day when we were making a shopping run at Costco, and they didn't have any eggs. They didn't have any there. So,
So what is the one thing that
Iowa.
What?
Number one.
Jeff Stockton.
Sorry.
Jeff?
what's the one thing that the price of something has gone down?
I know that one. I know that one. Hookers.
Yeah. Trump coins.
Trump
coins.
Yeah, but they take tips.
Yeah.
Pennies.
Yeah.
Well, it's so cold in Russia, they go to the hookers just for the hot flashes. Anyway.
Jesus, we're gonna do hooker jokes now. You hear about the blind hooker? You really had to hand it to her.
You're okay. Thank you very much.
We're getting canceled.
What did you say?
We're getting canceled.
Being getting canceled. I got an email. I got a mail today on my Facebook account. I think it was saying that they were closing down my Facebook page that is called Alex Bennett's Great American Broadcast. Okay.
Yeah.
Because of violations of their rules. Well, it's still there. This was like some kind of
Scam.
Kind of scam to get information out of me.
Yeah.
If they're going to protect us against anything, forget about the speech. Let's curb that kind of thing, okay?
Yeah.
And go after it.
I get emails every day about my iCloud account. I don't own a single Apple product, so.
Oh, I've gotten stuff where they've said, "Oh, we're gonna your car payment wasn't made."
Right.
Yeah. Right. I get that.
I don't own a car. Marjorie, you get some too, don't you, Marjorie? You get scammed.
Yeah, once in a while.
Yeah.
The one that I get that is 99% of the people except for me is saying that they're going to close my Netflix account, and I don't have Netflix. So,
yeah. Remember the good old days when you just got stuff from a Nigerian prince?
Yeah.
Right.
Where'd he go? How many people fell for the Nigerian?
I am the Nigerian prince.
Why don't you go looking?
But
anyway,
are you deciding what race I am?
Oh boy,
Yikes.
Yeah.
I never knew Paula was a
I can't
racist.
get out a straight sentence today. I don't know what's wrong with me. I must have had a stroke in my sleep. Could that be, Jeff? You know all about strokes.
Oh, Jesus.
You don't want one.
Yeah, I don't want one.
Give it back.
Well, you know what? I wouldn't mind if I got a selective stroke. In other words, where it erased certain parts of my memory of stuff I don't want to remember, like my senior prom. You know?
At least you had one.
Yeah. Oh, really? You didn't have one?
They canceled our senior prom.
Why?
1960. I forget what the reason was, but for some reason they canceled our senior prom. It's the only year in my whole high school's history that they did not have a senior prom.
Or you must have done something very bad.
Well, what did you do?
That was all my fault.
Well, was she at least good looking?
You remember our prom, Marjorie?
I remember our prom and I remember our reunion.
Yeah. These two women went to what grade school with each other, right?
Elementary, junior, senior.
That's so cool. That's
It really is. It really is.
Yeah. And was she the class clown, Paula?
No, but she was always very pretty.
I got pictures of her. She looked great. You know, I would have been hot for her then. But
Still looks great.
Yeah.
If we had met back then, it wouldn't have lasted, right?
Hey, you'd be divorced for years now.
Yeah. She'd be my my first.
My wife and I talk about that all the time. We knew each other in high school, and then 30 years went by before we found each other again. And we always talk about it, that we would probably be divorced by now, you know? So
Marjorie keeps saying to me, if I knew you back then, I wouldn't have had anything.
Oh, absolutely. You were terrible with women.
No, I wasn't terrible with women. Every woman I ever. Wait a minute.
Relationship, Alex.
What?
You fucked other women while you were in every relationship you were in.
So what's the problem? No, actually, I didn't. Okay, it's just like I used to cheat on my major girlfriend. Okay, back then, because we broke up. In 12 years, we broke up 12 times. So when we broke up, immediately I went and started filling the pond, you know? And so that's what happened. But
I heard
what?
So I heard women loved you and you never got charged full price for a hooker or anything.
That's right. And they loved me because I always had cash, you know, so
yeah.
Good. So, but no, Marjorie, no, you know, I've never cheated on you. I don't think.
Oh my God.
You can't remember.
Remember.
You know.
If you guys were in the same room, she would hit you so hard right now.
Oh, he'd be out the window.
Oh, I'm fearful when the show is over. Okay.
Yeah. What's for dinner, Marjorie?
Yeah, not here. Watch out.
Arsenic.
I was going to say that.
Yeah.
Boy, now I go from the coffee to my other favorite here. This is ice coconut pineapple.
Are we being sponsored now or what?
I hope you're getting paid.
We're sponsored by Spear and by Ice Sparkling Water, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
That looks good.
Those are good.
It is. It's a great flavor. Marjorie always goes, pineapple coconut. You should try one sometime, Marjorie. No, I'm not going to. Lately, she's been very reticent to do things. We watched one episode of what's the name of that show? The one where it takes place on a.
I'm not even going to mention it.
In Thailand this year.
Oh, White Lotus.
Oh, Lotus,
White
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 Lotus.
Lotus, yeah.
How is this season? Is it good?
Well,
It's
So far, so good.
I
Yeah.
The
think I
first
suddenly
year was so
realized
good.
I
This
suddenly
one sucked.
realized what White Lotus basically is. It's a show like Fantasy Island.
Yeah.
Because every
Mm,
series
yeah.
they have a series of stories that are being
Yeah.
told, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
About these people who come to visit the hotel.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
What's the difference between that and Fantasy Island? In
Yeah.
Midget.
Person.
No little dude pointing at airplanes.
Right. No tattoo.
Right.
Yeah.
Plane.
So far,
Yeah.
it's not very good this year. It's a little.
Edward, say the plane.
Has
I
anybody
like it.
seen it this year?
Yeah, I like it better than the second season when they're in Italy.
Yeah.
Feels more like the first season in Hawaii. So far so good. And I like how they're tying in certain things. So
I'm gonna wait till they release them all and then we'll watch them.
yeah, that's always a good thing to do.
That's what I wanted to do, Len.
Yeah.
I
The
got
new season of Reacher's good.
I know. I just hooked Marjorie on Reacher. It's a good show, I think. You like it, don't you, Marjorie? Reacher?
Reacher.
I'm watching her.
She looks like Donald Trump at a press conference. Marjorie, you hear me?
I hear you.
Yes, I said you kind of liked Reacher, didn't you?
I enjoyed the one episode I saw.
Three. You watched 3 episodes.
I enjoyed the 3 episodes I saw.
Yeah. Oh, it's just. You know what I decided with that show that I liked about it is that there are never any cliffhangers between seasons because it always resolves itself in the end because he's always traveling. So the next episode starts, he's in another town, there's another series of adventures, and they don't leave you hanging. Like we were watching, there's a new show. How many here like Peaky Blinders? Are you all Peaky Blinders fans?
Great.
Well, the guy that
wonderful.
has a new show called 1,000 Blows. Takes place in kind of that same gritty time frame that Peaky Blinders was in, but this is about boxing.
It's not as good as Peaky Blinders, but it's good.
It's good. It's quite good. But they did 6 episodes, and guess what you got on the end? A cliffhanger. Now I got to wait for the next 6 to drop, which have already been filmed, but I don't know when they're going to drop them. And that bothers me. I'd like to just wrap it up and then start another season somewhere else or in some other kind of situation. But they always, when they know they're going for another season, they always do a cliffhanger. And I liked them when I was watching serials as a kid, but I don't like them with a program that I really like. But anyway,
Has anyone seen the new Robert De Niro series?
Yes, we watched all that. Yeah.
How was that?
I thought he was very good.
He was excellent.
I thought it was kind of it was too
What?
busy. It was too busy in the beginning when they started. It's kind of hard to follow, I thought.
Yeah. Okay. But did you follow it through all?
Yeah, I did it all the way to the end.
Yeah. And
So,
at the end, it starts.
You're right. De Niro was good. I just
De
didn't
Niro
think the story was good.
Yeah, I thought he was terrific in this thing, but just one person can't carry a whole show.
Yeah.
It's got to be good, and this was okay, but
Yeah, it didn't do much for me.
yeah. But he was terrific. He was just terrific.
We just started watching Night Agent on Netflix. That's very good.
It's good. It's good, but it's okay.
I'm only 6 episodes in, so I don't know.
Marjorie and I have certain shows we refer to as chewing gum.
Yeah.
You just kind of chew on it, and it really doesn't satisfy you that much.
Doesn't
but
have to be great, but it's watchable.
Yeah.
It was certainly watchable, yeah.
Well, I mean, the De Niro show was really very good.
What is that called?
Chewing gum.
Day One or something.
Day Zero. Day Zero.
Yeah. I saw that. Okay.
Yeah.
What's it on? I've never heard of it.
Yeah.
It's on Netflix too, I believe.
Yeah. Is there any other show we're watching, Marjorie? We're watching Prime crime.
The best is 1WA.
Well, that's an old show.
Yeah, but it's great.
Nobody knows about that here because they never showed it here. You know,
Which one's that?
It's a show. They did a show called 2012, which was about a bunch of people doing work
Olympics
for the Olympics. And what it is, it's really a show about
nothing.
Not about nothing, but about the incompetency of people who don't know what they're doing, you know. And that was a good series. It had the guy who's the patriarch of the Downton
Hugh
Abbey.
Bonneville.
Hugh Bonneville.
Yeah.
And so then when they were through that, they figured, I want to do another series. So they did one about the BBC called W1A.
1A.
And it's really hilarious.
It's brilliant.
It's like people, they have title. David Tennant does the narration, and even the narration is stupid. But
great.
he does it
so
with a straight face, and it's really if you can find it anywhere. If you have BritBox, it's on BritBox, but that's the only place I can tell you really that you could find it, and it was never released in this country. Nobody ever picked it up. So,
have you watched those Kunk? What's it, Elamina Kunk documentaries?
I saw that, but it didn't appeal to me. Is it any good?
It depends on how you watch it. It's pretty funny. But the joke goes on too long.
Really? Is it?
Okay. The interviews and the questions she asks are just ridiculous.
Yeah.
But and the people are just dumbfounded with how stupid the questions are, but it's still funny.
Yeah. And I have a few guilty pleasures myself that Marjorie won't watch, you know. So like I watched the Kathy Bates show. I watched Matlock.
It's good.
Yeah. It's actually very good, I think.
She's a great actress.
Oh yeah, it's very good.
She's a fine actress, and it's just, you know, it's a pretty good show. And I love Ghosts. Ghosts is one of my favorite two shows.
Have you ever watched the British one, the original one?
Yes.
It's really good.
I actually think the American version is better.
I do too.
I think the combination of the Ghosts is just better thought out. They left some of the ones in from England, like the Boy Scout leader or whatever, as the arrow.
Arrow in his neck.
Oh yeah.
You know, and of course but they added something like the girl in this thing who's like a
hippie.
We went to, everything's Woodstock this, and, Fleetwood Mac that, and so on. And she has like scratches on her, big claw marks from a bear that attacked her and killed her. So all these, the combination of the Ghosts is just a very good show, very likable, But hello, Vernon Nunn. Vernon Nunn looks very serious today. Vernon Nunn you're very serious, aren't you?
I try to be.
Very serious.
Seriously.
Okay, so let me have you break character. Tell us a good joke.
Oh, gee, crickets. I'm not good at that. I am not good at that.
You know what I'm not good at? Remembering jokes.
Yeah.
I'll get a joke and I'll tell a dozen people the joke, and then a week later I forget the joke.
That's the way I am. And I've heard some good ones at Home Depot, let me tell you.
Really?
Oh yeah.
The best joke ever, Alex, is Penn's joke about the hunter and the bear.
Well, yeah, tell it right.
That's a great joke.
It goes on too long.
It does, but that's a great joke.
It's one of those jokes. It's one of those jokes that I say is an operatic joke.
Yeah.
You can tell it in a short form, but Penn doesn't tell it in a short form.
No.
I sat there, I think it took him a half hour to tell me the full joke, and he acts it all out. And it's a theater piece.
It is.
And it's all about this guy who goes out in the woods to hunt, and he sees a bear, and he aims his gun and he shoots at the bear and misses. So the bear comes charging over at him, knocks him over, grabs the rifle, and said, "Don't you ever do that again." And throws the rifle down in his face, and he leaves. As he's walking away, the guy thinks, "I can't miss a second time." So he takes the gun and he aims it at the bear and misses again. And the bear turns around and he charges at him and he grabs him. He says, "I got to do something that you're never going to forget. And we'll never make you do that to me again." Turn over, and he pulls his pants down, and with his big, as Penn describes it, greasy bear dick, um, defiles this guy. And and when he's finished, he leaves. He's starting to leave, and the guy's ass is bleeding, and it's terrible. It's just god awful. And the bear says, "Now let that be a lesson to you, and never do that again." And he throws the gun down on the ground. And as he's walking away, the guy goes, "I can't let the bear get away with this." So he picks up the rifle and he shoots it at the bear. Misses again. Turns around, the bear turns around, comes charging at the guy, grabs him, looks at him, and goes, "I don't think you came here to hunt."
We're gonna get canceled.
Yeah, that's it. This is our
There's a
last
lot of
show.
bears. There's a lot of bears that watch this show.
Yeah.
He does have sex with him on the first try, but I didn't say that because I didn't want to get censored. Okay.
Oh yeah.
That's the bear joke. But Penn goes on and on.
He really tells it well. Yeah.
Yeah. And there was the other joke, of course, is the Aristocrats, the other theatrical joke, which you can, if you,
There's a video.
Penn made.
There's a documentary about that.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah, well, Penn made
There's
it.
a documentary about that, right?
No, but Penn did it. Penn and did it with another comedian, and it's a joke where if you ask every comedian knows this joke, okay, and every comedian has their version of telling the joke, and it just goes on and on. And I mean, I think we agreed that the best version of that joke was in the mouth of Gilbert Gottfried.
Gilbert.
Mm-hmm.
Gilbert tells it. It goes on, and it goes on forever. I mean, so these are what I call operatic jokes. I think you get the idea of the bear joke, but told the right way, it becomes very theatrical. I've seen Penn do it in front of a bunch of people, and he just gets theatrical with it, and he throws the gun down on the ground, and he turns the guy around, and and it's phenomenal to watch. But so you don't have a joke, Vernon, do you? No.
Nope.
No.
I can't top that.
Okay, I'll give you one you can remember, and then you can tell it at parties.
Okay.
Yeah. Two Jews walk into a bar.
Oh
no. And they buy it.
And they buy the bar.
And they buy it. That's the joke.
I like Paula's reaction.
Yeah. Oh, there was that whole series of jokes about, a rabbi, a priest, and somebody. Huh?
Yeah.
And an imam.
Imam. Go walk to a bar, blah, blah, blah. But I love all those jokes. My father, when I was a kid, I'll tell you the first joke I ever learned. And my father taught it to me. And the reason he taught it to me is when he brought people over to the house, he would say, "Let me have my son tell you a joke." And then I would come out, and I was like 5 years old at the time, right? And I would tell this joke. And in my hands as a child, it especially played well. And the joke was simply that a girl is walking through the woods one day when she happens upon a frog. And the frog looks up at her and says, hi, I am really a prince, but I won't be until somebody kisses me. So she thinks about it and she goes, well, how bad can this be? You don't know what kind of prince he's going to be. And if he's a prince, I can be a princess. So she takes the frog home and says, put me under your pillow. And in the morning when you wake up, I will be a handsome prince. So she puts him under the pillow. And sure enough, she wakes up the next morning and lying in the bed next to her is this handsome, gorgeous prince. And do you know to this day, her parents don't believe the story? That's the first joke I ever learned.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Anybody have a good joke? I would love to hear it coming out of the voice of
Edward Berger.
Edward Berger.
Yeah. All right. I have one.
Okay.
That's kind of like a riddle. How is the show 60 Minutes is the same as a Jewish grandmother? They both go.
They both what?
I told you this last night, Marjorie. I said
the last one
I
again. I didn't hear it. They what?
Why don't I? Can you hear it?
What's the punchline?
You got to go.
Yeah. I heard that joke from Charlie Tuna.
Oh, you know the difference between a porcupine and a Cybertruck? The porcupine, the prick's on the outside.
Yeah, see, they're getting some jokes out there today.
I only know one joke.
You only know one joke? Okay, tell us the one joke you know.
What do you get if you cross an elephant with a rhinoceros?
Elephino.
Elvino.
Rhino.
All right, I'll tell this one as quickly as possible. This woman walks into an ice cream parlor. She says, I want a pint of vanilla, a pint of strawberry, and a pint of chocolate. The guy behind the counter says, I'm sorry, ma'am, we're out of chocolate. So she goes, okay, well, let me just change. I'll take 2 pints of vanilla, 3 pints of strawberry, and a pint of chocolate. And she says, I'm sorry, ma'am, we're out of chocolate. Okay, all right, I'll change my order again. 3 pints of strawberry, 2 pints of vanilla, and a pint of chocolate. He says, will you listen to me? He says, take the van out of vanilla, and what do you get? She says, vanilla. He says, now take the straw out of strawberry, and what do you get? Berry. He says, now take the fuck out of chocolate. She goes, there's no fucking chocolate. He goes, that's what I've been trying to tell you.
The version that I know, Len, is about broccoli. And she insists that she wants broccoli.
Okay. All right.
That's a very funny joke. I like it.
I like that one.
And do you know, like a year from now, I'll forget that joke?
Yeah,
maybe
I'll remind you.
Yeah, it's very funny. That's fun. I love that joke.
Two guys haven't seen each other, bump into each other in the street. One says to the other, man, how's it been since the wedding? He says, since the wedding, she's kind of cut me back to just once or twice a week. I don't know. He says, well, man, since your wedding, I know some guys she's cut off altogether.
That sounds like Rodney Dangerfield.
Wait a minute. Say that punchline again. I'm not getting it.
The guy says, since I've been married, she's cut me back to just once or twice a week. And his friend says, yeah, since you've been married, I know some guys she's cut out altogether.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, okay. Fine. Good. Who's coming back? There's Scott. Scott, I was going to go to you next.
What happened? Did I just drop out?
You just dropped out and you came back in.
Oh, weird.
I know. Whatever.
I didn't do anything. I didn't touch the computer.
No,
I didn't do a Jeff.
You didn't do a Jeff. Okay. Is that the new word for it now? I didn't do a Jeff.
Where's Jeff?
There is Jeff. Right there.
I saw him.
Take a nap.
Anyway, Scott.
I have a joke that I heard when I was 8 years old at my mom's company party, and it took me like another 10 years to figure out what it meant.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I did. By the way, the
So-
joke my father told me, I didn't understand until I was older.
Mm.
Anyway,
Yeah, well, why is semen white and pee yellow?
I think I know that one.
To know if you're coming or going.
Oh, that's
And I don't know how I remembered it, and I did not know what it meant until
of
much
course
later.
not. You were 8 years old.
But what does it mean?
I'll text you.
when I post the show on Facebook, I have to say whether there was anything dirty in the show. And then if there was, what level. But I think this is still pretty. This is all cute, right? It's not. It's the bear joke. Come on, who hasn't had sex with a bear? Anyway. So anyway, I've just been I hate to say this because it gets a little on the political side, but I've been so depressed lately by what's going on. You know, and I was talking with some friends the other night. I get together with these guys on Saturday night, do a little Zoom call, and I just said I can't figure it out anymore. You know, I just don't understand it. You know, and at my age, am I supposed to worry about it? Because my days are numbered. I don't know whether I have another 15 years in me and I'll make it to 100 or not. But how much should it concern me? Because how much is it going to affect me in the end? So how do you guys feel about it? Is any of it depressing you at all?
Oh yeah,
completely.
Yeah. So, I mean, how do we do away with this depression that just seems to be casting a pall across a lot of people in this country?
My reaction is not depression. My reaction is anxiety.
Is
Yeah.
When I can't sleep, I have Ed call me and sing a lullaby.
But do you ever say to yourself, Paula, at my age, I really shouldn't let it get to me?
No, I don't. I mean, I'm certainly aware that I may not live to experience it turning around. Someday it'll turn around because it will. But
Yeah, because I assume you're about
I hate like hell the idea that this is what we have.
We've been going through this for like 12 years or 14 years. I mean, it's really, he's affecting such a large part of each of our lives,
Yeah.
even if we
And
don't
our
want it.
kids and our grandkids.
And our kids and our grandkids.
The damage is
That's what I'm worried about.
what? Your kids?
Yeah, kids and grandkids.
Yeah. Well, I don't have any
No,
grandkids.
my kids all, I mean, two of them and her husband work in the medical business.
I worry as a young retired person.
They might be out of jobs,
Yeah. I mean, I'm worried for my 401k and my housing or value and things like that.
I mean, I know people that have already been affected. A friend of ours has a daughter who worked for the IRS. She's out of a job.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. We're all going to know somebody who got fired.
Oh, of course.
Absolutely.
Well, it's because the government is what? Is it the largest business in America or close to it?
It's the largest.
It is the largest?
Yeah.
I thought the largest business was internet porn.
I thought the largest employer was the military.
But
How do I break into that?
It doesn't employ as many people, only two at a time.
That's what I hear.
Oh.
Sometimes three at a time if you're really, kinky. But I mean,
Wait, what's going on behind the scenes of all this bluster is far more sinister than what we're seeing.
Yes.
Because as these claims are made, and then the truth comes out, 9 million people hear the claim, and 3 of us hear the truth.
Yeah.
There's I mean, the folks that were supposedly in this mine underground where the retirement stuff is held, every single one of the statements that were made are false. There is no elevator. They say, "Oh, the elevator."
Oh yeah,
breaks.
this was the
All-
place. This was down in Georgia, someplace like
No,
that.
no, it's in Butler County, Pennsylvania, in an
Okay,
old mine.
it's called Iron Mountain.
Iron Mountain's the company that owns it.
Okay.
Iron Mountain's a company that stores records for people and destroys records when they're no longer needed to be held.
Yeah.
And this facility is just a cave, and there's not a limit to how many people can retire a day. There's everything that they've said about that location. Every single statement that he made in a press conference is false. Just like the $50 million worth of condoms that went to Gaza. Actually, it was a smaller amount that went to Gaza, Mozambique, a small town in Mozambique that had a big AIDS outbreak. Everything they're saying is a lie. And there's too many lies to debunk. So people have become totally numb to it. And they're now just kind of, okay, everything's a lie, so everything's a lie. There's no gradient.
Here was the funny one. I think it was yesterday or the day before. He went to Fort Knox to make sure the gold was still there.
Yeah.
Now, what's his name? The guy who was the guy who was the head of what was it? I'm trying to remember his name now. In fact, my eye doctor, it's his brother-in-law.
What agency?
The guy that was our brother-in-law's. He was a movie producer, and he became the head of, and I can't remember what it was. A couple of years ago, when Trump was president, he went to Fort Knox to make sure the money was there for him. The gold is there. I mean, it's not the main place we store gold.
I heard they smuggled it all out in rappers' teeth. No?
Oh boy. Yeah, right. So anyway,
but they say the next world war is going to be cyber attacks. So
yeah,
$0 in it.
I mean, that's what that whole the Robert De Niro show is about, is a cyber attack that only lasts a minute, but it shuts down everything in the United States, and something like 1,500 people, 2,000 people died as a result of something like that. And that's what you could do in this country. I mean, you could literally close everything down if you had you had some really good.
And who's the leader of all that kind of technology?
Elon Musk.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The day that he blamed Ukraine the day he blamed Ukraine for starting the war is when you knew that.
Oh my God!
That things have gone past any form of reality.
You know what it is? I'll tell you. It's something that I hate to say Hitler used, but he did. And what it was the lie you perpetuate, which of course everybody knows there's got to be a lie. But the more you say it, the more people believe it.
Or they choose to ignore it.
Eventually the lie becomes the truth.
Sure.
I am hopeful that we are not, that the American public is not like the Germans who tended to follow the rules. Americans don't like
to begin with
to be messed with.
But what they didn't have in Germany was the method of communication to tell each other that is
right.
There wasn't mass communication there. That's why Hitler used radio, and why Hitler used a lot of different things. In fact, the tape recording was invented by Hitler so that they could record his speeches ahead of time and then play them. And the Americans couldn't figure out, well, wait a minute, he's not in that town right now. How's he doing this?
Well, did he have an iPhone or a Samsung?
I think it was a BlackBerry.
Anyway, they sent some guys in to go attack one of these radio stations. When they got there, they found these pieces of equipment, and they liberated, I think, 3 of them. And one of the guys held on to one of them, and he was the guy that started Ampex. Hitler invented tape recording.
We should go back to telling jokes.
Well,
I agree. Thank you, Paula.
Okay. Here's one. It's for you, Alex.
Yes.
Guy says to his friend, "We went to a restaurant like nothing you ever saw in your life. This restaurant was the best restaurant, but I can't remember the name of the restaurant." And the guy says, "Well, I'd like to hear about it. So what was the name of the restaurant?" He said, "I don't know. The name was something like I don't know. It's like there's this flower. It's usually like red or pink, and there's spikes and stuff." And he said, "Oh, you mean like rose?" And he said, "Yes." The guy said, "Yes." And then he said, "Rose, what was the name of that restaurant?"
Oh, here comes in the last minute of this.
John Giller. He's going to show you his jar of measles.
Actually, this makes 15 people today. Hello, Don. Or as Jack Benny would go, "Oh, Don."
Hitler did not invent the tape recorder.
Who did?
Thank you.
I mean, look,
Don Giller.
there's a long essay in Wikipedia. Look it up.
Okay.
So, well, did it mention these radio stations that they went in and got 3 of these machines and one of them
He utilized it, but he didn't invent it.
He didn't invent anything.
Well, I mean, he didn't invent it. I'm not saying he had a little workshop there at the Berchtesgaden, and
He
he
stole a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, basically, they didn't know how these machines worked. We didn't have a working one in this country till we brought over those machines from that radio station. So that's a story I've been told.
Yeah, but that's a lot different than saying he invented the tape recorder.
Well, you know what I'm saying.
Well, no, I don't, because when this place turns into a ramble, I just kind of lose interest.
It hasn't turned into a ramble. We're just talking about people being depressed.
Somebody must have one more good joke. Come on, Don, you got a good joke.
Yeah, Don, you called. Give us a good joke. Come on.
I know bad jokes, but I don't want you to lose your license.
Well, fellas, there's dirty jokes are the best jokes. We all know that.
Don, come on, we're waiting.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Don.
He comes here in the last minute of the show to say, "No, you're wrong about the tape recorder." Okay, Hitler.
Well, someone had to.
But some people invented it to make Hitler happy. How's that?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
He's jokes-to-pated. He can't get the joke
When the
out.
tape recorder was invented in 1623, they thought of Hitler.
It wasn't invented in 1623.
There are several people that say that they invented the tape recorder. Alexander Graham Bell, Fritz Fumer, Jack Mullen. They all claim to have invented this tape.
And Don Giller.
And Don Giller.
Right.
Yeah. But
that's what Google says.
But who uses a tape recorder anymore, right?
I do.
Of course.
No.
I'm going to call him on his
I have
page
a
here.
half track and a quarter track right beside me.
Wow.
Really? Wow. Yeah.
Where you keep your measles?
What were you going to say, Vernon?
Al Gore invented the internet.
Yeah.
Right.
He never claimed to invent the internet.
And it was Hitler anyway.
I think he basically claimed to make it possible through laws
he wrote the bill that funded ARPANET, and in that sense, he created the internet.
Yeah.
He never
ARPANET.
claimed to have technology.
ARPANET was the very beginning of the internet, although I'm sure Don Giller will say I'm wrong.
No, that's right.
My birthday's coming up in around 5-6 months, so I'm kind of preoccupied.
Inviting people over for the party? Come on.
Yeah, I'll clean up.
You'll clean up?
Clean up.
Actually, I was thinking of dropping by on my birthday.
Really? Here?
Yeah.
Well,
But I'll keep it a surprise. I won't tell you.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Anytime, Don, you're welcome.
Okay. Well, if Marjorie invites me, then that takes some.
Invite him, Marjorie. Invite him.
Come over.
Yeah. See, she just invited you.
Okay. It'll be a couple Wednesdays from now.
Okay.
How many Wednesdays? Many
40?
Wednesdays. What?
45? I don't know.
40. Oh boy. Well, hey, I hate to say it, but we've
run out of time.
Run over because I wanted to hear Don Giller tell me how wrong I was.
Well, I do what I do.
Yeah. And I'm sure I will get an email now with the exact.
Oh, I sent you an email last week when I got the when I confused Arsenio Hall being on Pat Sajak when he was actually on
he was on another show. He was on
another show.
The Night. Thick of the Night.
Solid Gold. Solid Gold.
No, it was
it was.
Yeah, anyway, but you never got back to me, so I figured you were pissed.
No, I wasn't. I'm never pissed at you. How can I get pissed at you?
Watch.
That you're you're working on it.
That's Tony. That's Tony.
I'm working on it.
That's Tony that's pissed at you.
I'm working on it. Yeah. Hey, listen, that's it. We kind of have what's for dinner, dear?
It's a surprise.
Yeah, means leftovers from last night.
That sounds right.
She makes excellent leftovers. Anyway,
make them coffee
for being here. I appreciate it. Paula, always a pleasure. Charlene, good to see you. Brian, nice to have you here. You're out of your car now. Anyway, Andrew Deutsch, thank you for being here, Andrew. We really appreciate it. And as always, Francine Witt, wonderful. Len LaFrisco, great to have you here. John Ewing, wonderful. Charlie, always a pleasure. Jeffrey, always a pleasure. Vernon Dunn, always wonderful to have you here. And Scott Boddicker, always nice to have you there.
What's with the glove, Verna?
Yeah, what's with your glove?
I have arthritis in the thumb here, and these are compression gloves. Makes it feel better.
I thought you were trying to be like a Michael Jackson or something.
Or a Billy Idol.
Billy Idol. Yeah. What's his name? The actor, the one who does all the voiceovers.
Al Pacino.
Ed Berger?
No, the black actor who does all the voiceovers.
Morgan Freeman.
Oh, Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman. He always has had for the last, I'd say 5 years, 10 years, something on his hand, which you just never see because he always usually holds it down. But it's a black glove he wears on that hand, and I think he has no use of that hand anymore. Is what the problem is. But as long as he can remain the voice of God, we lost James Earl Jones. We got to have Morgan Freeman. Jeff, thank you for being here. Vernon, thank you for being here. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Scott Boddicker, wonderful having you here. And Don Giller, my only advice to you is call earlier.
What's her last name?
At least 5 minutes earlier.
Earlier who?
Hey, we've run 10 minutes over here. All right. Everybody have a nice week, and hopefully we'll see you next week. Same time, right back here. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Did Edward?
Edward Berger.
Oh, Edward Bergers, say goodbye to us.
That's all, folks.
Oh my goodness.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks, Alex.
I'm losing it. Okay, bye.
Yeah, I didn't think we were going to